What is up, everyone? I'm back, and this is gonna be a little quick run through of the first kind of round of the Euro 2020 groups. Oh, sorry. This is gonna be kind of like I'm gonna go through with all the games that were in the first round, the first match week of the Euros. On let's see what and talk quickly about how each team did and what I see for them going forward in the tournament. So, but yeah, let's just get into this first. The first group, Group A, was with Turkey, Italy, Wales, and Switzerland. And this is a group that we can kind of see that one team really underperformed, one team performed much better than we expected. One could be a dark horse, and one is just there in the middle, as you can say. The first game, the opening game, was Turkey versus Italy. And this was definitely in the favor of the Italians, 100%, because it was a home ground, and it was opened up by um by performance from Bocelli as well, which was always great. You can't go wrong with Bocelli, but um but what ended up happening this one is that Italy definitely came out. They wanted this more. They looked even way more sharper than Turkey did, and they took home the win. They won the game with 3-0, and deservingly so, definitely. Uh, they wanted more. The Turks looked lost in some type of way. They started off decently. They had some decent chances, but the Italians wanted more, and they looked very very good. And Mancini has really turned them around. This is way different from that Italian side back in like before the last World Cup that didn't wasn't able to qualify for that tournament, which was a big dud for them. Which was like that was a big catastrophe, really. And they really picked themselves up since then, and they are now in like a 10-game winning streak, pretty much without conceding a goal for 10 games straight, which is really really good. And also on like a 26 to 29, I believe, somewhere there, winning streak overall in just wins. The record of all time for them, for an Italian side, is 30. So could that happen? Could they beat that? Maybe. They could definitely, if they keep this up. They just won again today, so that's going on now. So like also with the same result against Switzerland. So who knows? Who knows what can happen here? They have some really good players. Um, uh, up there, like, they have a good defense. They have the Donnarumma. They have Chiellini, Bonucci. Of course, they have what is his name? It's, God, these Italians' names almost like elude me. It's anyway. But anyways, one of those main guys. You already know if you check the scores today. Today is the 16th. Or was it like now? It's early in the morning, but it was this on the 16th. The guy who scored versus 2 goals versus Switzerland. They have him, and they have others like really solid players like that. They have Verratti, they have and others like that. So they have some good players definitely that can do damage, and they have Immobile as well in front, and they are a solid team, and they can definitely go far if they keep this up. So keep an eye out for Italy. They're definitely going up in my favorites list as well. But the second game was Wales versus Switzerland, which I don't really have to talk about much because it wasn't really that exciting of a game. It ended 1-1, and kind of a fair result. Both had their fair amount of chances, and uh, the Swiss, they looked kind of okay, but they're, as I said, they're the ones who are a little bit in the middle. They're not bad, but they're not that good either. Uh, which is a shame because they have some decent players. They have Shakiri, they have Alaba, they have others like that. But just the quality is not enough. It's just the talent and all. It just doesn't work really for them. It just isn't fully there yet. So And you saw that even more today. They lost today. The second game they played, they lost 3-0 to Italy. So I'll get to that maybe by the end of this video, or maybe next time, but when I do the recap of the second round. But I'll get into more of that then. But they didn't look too solid either. They maybe a bit better than Turkey, but not by much, you know. So they're somewhere there in the middle. Wales, on the other hand, they could be a dark horse. They could today. They won. As I said, they won 3-0 today against Turkey, and so Turkey losing two times 3-0. So that's a tough blow on them. But Wales definitely showing up today again, so they can be a dark horse. The first game wasn't like all the best, but they're slowly stepping up. So anything can happen with them. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, into the next group, it was Denmark, Finland, Belgium, and Russia. The first game, let's just address the elephant in the room at first, just quickly. The situation with Ericsson, that was a very tough and very scary moment, definitely. It's the first time I've ever seen something like that on live TV, you know. I remember hearing about similar back many years, 15 years ago, that one player who that happened to, I believe, I don't know if he died, he passed away, or he also just barely made it through. I don't can't remember now, but this similar situation happened back then. And but this time I actually first time I actually saw something like that directly, and it was a very scary situation. He just collapsed on the pitch, and it turns out everybody thought it was like just passed out or something, but it was actually a heart failure in some type of way. It's like something with his heart stopped, and they had to perform CPR and all that, and it took some time for him to really wake up again. But thankfully, he's okay now. He's stable. He's at the hospital, getting checked up, and they're trying still trying to find the reason why it all happened. But he's okay. He also posted on his Instagram as well and say thanking everybody, saying he's okay. So it's good to see that he's fine. That's the most important stuff here. But big props to all the players, you know, and Denmark and Finland and the medical staff and Anthony Taylor as well. The referee, everybody did really good and really handled the situation very professionally and good. Well, except for maybe some of the TV stations that kept playing that same image of Ericsson like collapsing. That I think that's a little bit unprofessional. I don't think that was a good thing to do with them, but whatever. But anyways, all ups to Ericsson. Hopefully he'll pull through and look good, do well. We're all with you. But anyways, the game. Well, UEFA forced them to restart the game. They didn't have really a choice. They were put to an ultimatum: either restart the game at once, like a little bit after there, and or do the game the next day at 12 o'clock, or forfeit. And well, I think that's a bit unfair and a bit of a kind of a douchey move. I don't know. I don't like what the UEFA did there, but anyways, you can clearly see that they were affected by the whole situation, and all when the game restarted, you can see that Denmark wasn't in the same mindset as when the game started, you know. And I think that's one of the main reasons why they went on to concede the way they did and lose the game. They also got a penalty, but they missed that penalty, so their mindset wasn't fully there into that game. They just wanted to get it over, pretty much, really. And it's tough, and it sucks because Denmark has some really good players, and they have a good squad. You know, they're solid. They have Peter Schmeichel, not Peter, Kasper Schmeichel, sorry, his son, and they have Martin Braithwaite, and of course Christian Eriksen, and Simon Kjær, and others like that. They have some good players, and it sucks that they had to go through that. Not a good start. Not a good start for nobody has to go through that. And I feel for both for Ericsson and for the Danish players. But props to Finland. They got a good start, but still maybe not in a way they would have wanted in the circumstances of it all. But they get the 3 points, and well, decent enough start, which was good for them that they got the 3 points there, because Today they didn't for us as much. They went on the other side. They was reversed. They lost 1-0 today to Russia. Um so it's a little bit uh it's a little bit tricky there. I don't know. I think they did all right. I think so. They just lost to Russia. But hey, well, what can you do? That's what it was at least. And then the second one, of course, I don't need to say much. Belgium wins 3-0 against Russia. That's pretty much what that is. Lukaku was one of the main guys. Belgium is one of the favorites, 100%. They look solid. They look solid, and they got an absolute perfect start for the tournament. So nothing more to say there. In Group C, we have Austria and North Macedonia. We have and the Netherlands and Ukraine. The first game was with Austria and North Macedonia. Of course, we kind of. Did I say that's right? Switzerland? Was it Austria that has those? I remember. Maybe I mixed up the players there. I don't know. I'm sorry if I did. Because I don't remember now if Austria was the one that. I think Austria was the one that had David Alaba in it. So, and Switzerland had definitely had. I don't know. I'm sorry if I messed them up. But anyway, Switzerland has some good players. Austria also. So I'm sorry if I messed it up. But I'm tired. So I'll probably do better in the next one. I'll probably make it up. But either way, whatever they play, they have some good players. But one of those, Austria went on to, of course, to win against North Macedonia. That wasn't a big surprise. For Macedonia, Pandev, I think, no, Pandev, what was it? Yeah, I think that's his name. Or whatever. They all played the biggest, like their most star player. He went on to score, of course, and he became their youngest and their oldest player to score because this is their first tournament. They have been in a big tournament they've been in, and not a bad first game for them. They were into it pretty much a lot in the game. They gave them a fight, but of course Austria has the better quality in the players and all that stuff. So um yeah, it was all expected for Austria to really win this one. So that's what it is. Then we have Netherlands against Ukraine, which was a very interesting game because this one wasn't as one-sided as many would have thought it would have been. Ukraine gave Netherlands a very, very good game. They put up a fight, really, and they went like Netherlands. Of course, they put up like they went up and scored 2-0. Of course, they went up in the lead. The goals by Wijnaldum and who else was it? Don't remember his name now, but there were others like up there, like yeah, but another guy. And then Ukraine came back. They came back and scored 2 goals as well, and they came back into the game in the later on. All goals were scored in like this second half, I believe. I think so at least. And they came back towards the end, and they almost looked like they could pull off an upset kind of against Ukraine against Netherlands. But of course, Netherlands came back in the end, and they via I think it was a header or was it a shot. I don't know. I don't remember exactly who it was, but they came back and then they scored. It was a mistake, but Ukraine the defense and yeah, and Netherlands came back and they won the game. This could have gone either way. Definitely could have gone either way. In the end, I don't know if I can say that Netherlands 100% deserved the win, but they were, of course, the more stronger, better team. So you can kind of say that they did in the end. But definitely not a bad game from Ukraine. They definitely put up a good fight, and that was a good first outing for them in this tournament. 100%. They're not a bad team. They have some really good players as well, and good that can at least compete somewhat. Of course, I don't think nobody thinks they expect them to go all the way, or even past the group. Maybe, possibly until the next round if they can bring themselves up. In these next couple games, they could do well against Austria and North Macedonia if they just keep pressing on. It's definitely not impossible for them. They could make it to the next round, but I don't see them go further than that though. But they're definitely a strong squad, 100%. Then quickly now these groups. Group D, we have England and Croatia Scotland and Czech Republic. First off, the Englishman, yeah, it's coming home. Everybody's saying it, right? England wins this one with 1-0 against Croatia. The Croatians, they worked their way into it. They tried. They had the chances, but in the end, England was the more sharper one with a goal by Raheem Sterling, and it was they wanted it more in the end. They were the more efficient team. Because in the second half, Croatia kind of looked lost in some ways, in some parts. It just didn't go their way. Really, there wasn't the best of games to start. Really, with the best of performances. It's still not over for them. They can definitely get back into it, but they need to really step it up. Their next game, they need to work much harder and get into it against Czech Republic, because otherwise they can be in big trouble. So they were they were the second runner up in the World Cup. They're the second best team in the world. Like, they were the runners up in the last World Cup. So, but they definitely don't look the same as they were then. At least in this game. But anything can change. Then we have Scotland and Czech Republic. Czech Republic surprising, pulling off a real big upset here and big victory against Scotland with 2-0. Very good. And the Czech Republic have some decent players as well. They have Skriniar, and I think that's he's in charge. I think that's or something with that stuff. Something with that, and they have also Marek Hamšík in there as well, which is really good. They have a decent squad in there, and they can definitely do some damage, and they definitely show that today, or that day at least. I mean, the Scottish, they really didn't. I don't know. It was weird because they don't have the best of teams, but nobody really expected them to be losing in this way. It can maybe be brought down to luck in some cases, but they had their chances, but they were just looked off edge really in that game, and they wasn't really working for them. So they need to step it up against England, because which will be a big fight. Which will be like, that's gonna be very interesting to see those two nations really battering against each other. So that they have to step it up big time in that game. Otherwise, this could be a short tournament for them. But yeah, but that's kind of what it is at least. Czech Republic, very well done. They definitely deserve the win, and they move on in this group pretty well. Next up, they have Croatia, which will be a tougher opponent, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. We'll just have to wait and see how they fare in that game. And in Group B, we have Poland, Slovakia, Spain, and Sweden. This is gonna be interesting. This one had a little bit upsets in it because nobody expected it to go this way. First off, Poland lost to Slovakia, which was really a surprise. Everybody thought that Poland with Lewandowski and all those players they can just walk over Slovakia and they can do well, but it just didn't work for them. It's just in front of goal, they had their chances, but just didn't want to go in, and they lost out. And because of that, because of those missed chances, Slovakia took care of theirs, and they scored and they got their goals. And yeah, of course, Poland did pull one back, but in the end, Slovakia was the more sharper team, and they got the deserving win in the end, 100%. So that's just how it can be. But hopefully in the next game we'll see, maybe they can we'll see how they can do against Spain, which is a more reserved team, which I'll get to. But well, we'll see. Not a good start for Lewandowski and company, but who knows? There's still a lot left to play, so we'll see how they fare in this group. But they are still top favorites in this group, but anything can happen. Then we have Spain and Sweden. What can I say? What can I say about this game? I'm proud of how we did. I'm proud of how we did. We went into this game really with a mindset of maybe we should just hold them off to one, at least a zero, to at least a draw, and try to get onto them. And that's kind of what we did in a way. That's kind of what we did. Alexander Isak was wonderful in this game. He was incredible. He ran through that Spain defense a lot of times, and it was very close one time when he